Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Good evening, everyone. Are you a content creator on YouTube who's been struggling to grow on YouTube with your channel and getting views as a content creator, working a 9 to 5 job, family, and just other personal responsibilities? And you're frustrated that you're just not making any traction? Well, tonight we want to get into a conversation about not focusing on views, not focusing on subscribers, but focusing on 7 important skills that you need to develop and grow on as a content creator on YouTube so that you can not just get views, but you will double your views in time. And we're starting right now. Praise the Lord, everyone. Welcome to The Huddle. I'm your host, Walter Strong, where it's our goal to help working class content creators like yourself to grow your channel, get more views, and make money online. And as we said tonight, we're going to be talking about 7 important skills that you need to be working on and developing as a content creator on YouTube. I know there's a lot of videos that are out that talks about getting more views on your YouTube channel, growing your YouTube channel, making money on YouTube. You see everyone being successful, but you're kind of discouraged and saying, where's my piece of the pie to be successful? Well, tonight we're going to give you what others have, but yet they don't share once they experience the success, and that's these 7 important skills. But we're not going to do it alone, but we have a special guest tonight who's going to be joining us, who is a working class content creator himself. He is an entrepreneur, but most importantly, he is a man of God who shares his content to encourage not just content creators, but men and women living this life that we deal with every day. And so without further ado, we want to bring on the one. Give me 1 second, make sure we get him there. There we go. The one, the only, the 24-hour boss, Mr. Brian Hill. Good evening, sir.
Hey, good evening, Sir Walter. How are you, my friend?
I'm fine. I'm fine. So grateful that you are here with us tonight.
Yeah, love that intro.
Hey, only the best when the best comes through the door of the Huddle studios like yourself.
Appreciate it. Glad to be here, though. No, I appreciate you having me on, most definitely.
Great. To those of you who are watching us live in the chat tonight, like Mr. Tech Troublemaker, who's in the house tonight, and those of you who are watching us live, give us a hashtag Team Live in the chat. Those of you who are watching the replay later on, give us a hashtag Team Replay in the comment section. So let's get into this discussion, Brian.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, before we get into these 7 skills, tell our audience just a little about yourself and how you got started on YouTube creating content.
Sure. Yes. So for myself, I guess you could say I kind of have evolved. I think when I started, I don't even know if they was calling it content creation. I know for myself, I wasn't calling it content creation.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, I wanted to actually, I was behind the scenes and I started a podcast, and it was pretty much just audio, and didn't really understand much about YouTube, but I kind of wanted to be, just behind the scenes because I didn't want to be on camera, just shy, I guess you could say, an introvert, whatever you want to call it, but I didn't really want to be on camera. And, just doing the podcast, audio. And later down the line, I don't know, maybe a year within, talking to different creators, friends, and I decided to do video, and actually did my first video, and it had like I guess whatever, and of course put it on YouTube. And didn't really understand YouTube. And at the time, I think it was just pretty much, hey, if I just put this video out here, hey, who knows what'll happen. But
Mhm.
after, just putting more and more videos, of course, on YouTube, you kind of start to start to learn YouTube, and you realize, look, YouTube it's more than this YouTube thing than just putting a video out there. It is. I mean, of
Mhm.
course, we got this conversation now, but it's more to putting to YouTube than just putting these videos out here. There's so much more to it. But I would say now, like I said, stated, I've kind of evolved, and now I see more of this as, like we had the conversation beforehand, this more of trying to not only to help my own platform, but most importantly to help others. And you can do that now through YouTube, through your content. And that's kind of, I guess you could say, now what I've kind of been focused on, just trying to help other creators. Because as I mean, even for yourself, Walter, where you're reaching out to these 9 to 5ers like myself,
Mhm.
and trying to build your content, not only that, but help them. So that's kind of where I kind of started with YouTube. But I come from kind of a video editing background. I did weddings and all that type of thing. That was before YouTube was even big. You know,
Mm.
when I started doing weddings and videos, it was just pretty much DVD. But of course, with YouTube now, you can, it's all of it, right? So
Right.
that's kind of where I came from. And of course, now, with the channel and with the platform, just trying to help other creators, encourage them, and not like yourself, to help them, put it all together, not be so overwhelmed. Not only that, just here today, of course, like I said, I started out, I didn't want to be on camera. So now I understand what it's like to be afraid to be on camera. And so
Mhm.
now I'm helping other creators to not be so afraid, and helping them to kind of build their confidence to be on camera. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and still growing, still haven't got it all down, but I'm liking the journey, of course, and glad to be here, of course. And like I think one of our topics is collaboration. So this
Sure.
is one of those things, right, where we're able to collaborate. And from us collaborating and showing up on other channels, I got a chance to meet Walter, you got a chance to meet me, and what do you know, we're here tonight having this conversation.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Tonight, as those of you who are joining us live in the live chat, we're going to be talking about 7 important skills on content creation that you need to be focusing on developing. There's a favorite movie. I have favorite movies, Brian, but one in particular is the movie Taken with
Mm.
Liam Nelson. And there is a scene where his daughter goes overseas with a friend, and he tells her, "Hey, look, give me your information when you're going to be landing. Make sure you contact me once you get there." But of course, young adults, being the way they are, um, don't necessarily do what the parent has asked, and they get over there, and the one young adult just has a separate agenda. She just, I'm going to clean it up. She just wants to have um, a time of just unrestrained. I'm gonna put it in a clean version.
Yeah.
And she invites this gentleman to come over and gives them information that she should not be giving. And so, just to shorten the story here, they get in and they capture both of them. She calls her, dad calls her, and he overhears the whole commotion. And he says, "Just keep me on the phone. Don't let them know that I'm there." And then he says, "Kimmy, they're getting ready to take you." And they take her, and then basically the guy finds the phone, and he just listening, and he says, "If it's money you want, I don't have it. And if you want this, I don't have it." He says, "But what I do have is a set of specific skills that I will use on you if you don't give me my daughter back." And of course, if you've ever seen the movie, you know how it ends out. He gets his daughter back, but he definitely uses those skills. And my point is, the same conviction that Liam Nelson had in the movie about those specific skills that he had. That's what we need to have as content creators. Yes, getting in front of the camera and pressing record is part of the YouTube journey. Yes, going live on YouTube and doing live streams is part of the journey, but you have to have these skills. And so the first skill that we want to talk about tonight, Brian, is the video packaging aspect, where you spend that time
Mhm.
developing, and just take us, our guests, through your process on your channel of how you come up with the content ideas, how you work with your video topic, and you get to that title and that thumbnail long before you press record or go live.
Yeah, so I would say now, and it depends on the actual content. Like now, of course, we're doing a live stream, but even with a
Mhm.
live stream, I want to kind of do I guess you could say, a deep dive into that topic, trying to find probably some of the most important points, just like as yourself with this topic tonight, these 7 important skills, and just trying to come up with the content information that's going to be of value for those that are, of course, watching. And for me, myself, I try to, I guess, come up with a topic that, is going to be, like I said, beneficial to those that are watching. What
Mhm.
are, like, for your, like, I know for myself, like, I've done a lot of Canva tutorials. Some people know Canva, some people don't. So I've done a lot of Canva tutorials,
Mhm.
because Canva is, of course, if you don't know Canva, it's a great graphic design platform where you can find just about anything, and you don't even have to be a graphic designer. Canva will make you look like one of the best graphic designers. So that's one of the, probably the best apps that you can use as a content creator, especially if you're new. That's one of the best you can use. But for myself, I want to come up with, of course, a good title. Want to come up with a good title. Of course, the thumbnail goes along with the title. You got the topic, and like even for tonight, which I enjoy. You had a great hook for tonight's video, and those, of course, are things that are going to help your video to get views. Now, I can say this honestly: when I first was putting videos out there, a lot of that
Mm.
I was not, I guess you could say, hip to, or understanding. When I first started putting videos out there, just I didn't understand all of that and the importance of it, because sometimes when we start a thing, we kind of just jump into it, and we hit those learning curves, and there's so much that we got to learn. Even now, we're still learning YouTube. So, but I would say those are probably the important things, just having the title, the thumbnails, the hook, and the topic, of course, because all of those have to coincide and go together. So for myself, that's kind of what I try to do. Does it always work? Maybe not, and that's where you learn, right? Where you got to go
Right.
back, and I think you got a topic where you go back and look at your analytics and things like that.
Mhm.
But I think there it is a all of it is a learning process. All of it.
Yes.
And even if you put a video out there and it doesn't get views, it doesn't mean that that video was was not good, or you got to quit YouTube. That is not what it means. But it gives you a chance to learn, what did I do wrong? What can I fix? Is the title and a lot is the title okay? And a lot of times, I think, for some, and I think I've heard you talk about this maybe in one of your recent videos, a lot of times when we get on YouTube, we go into it with an unrealistic idea,
Mhm.
where we
Mhm.
think it's supposed to do this when it really doesn't. And so a lot of times we can overthink things, and it can really mess it up. But I think for myself, like I said, you can come up with something creative. I will say this too.
Mhm.
Over Don't get caught up in trying to over edit a video, because I think that may have
Mhm.
been something that I've done, because I come from that background where you want to make sure, oh man, this looks so polished, it looks good like this. But if you're not resonating with the audience, if you're not connecting with the audience, you can have the greatest video in the world, right? But
Right. Right.
you got to be able to connect with them. So I think those are maybe some, or for myself, those are some things that now, like I said, today I'm learning to do things much better. I started out, just not doing it as well. So that's just that's I would say that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Gotcha. Now you mentioned Canva, of course, which is
Hmm.
definitely my go-to graphic designing tool that I use with helping me with my thumbnails. I hear the argument that most content creators will say that it's a cookie cutter type graphic design where you can end up looking like everyone else. But I
True.
think the more you experiment in using it and you get more familiar with the elements, you get familiar with the different types of thumbnails, you can ultimately, through a process of time, end up creating your own brand and look of how your thumbnails look. 2 years ago, the way the huddle looks the way the huddle looked back then doesn't look like it is now. And so through a process of time of working in Canva, it's helped me to be able to pull certain thumbnails together that, yes, am I focused more on the brand than so much in terms of the overall purpose of the thumbnail? Yes, that's part of my Achilles heel with thumbnails, because I'm really locked in on a font with popping. I'm locked in on the color brand of the thumbnail, and I'm locked in terms of how the tiling of the thumbnail. So that it's a work in progress for me, but the simple fact that I have it part of the video package where I didn't before,
Yes.
I've seen a difference in
Yes.
when we talk about doubling views. When I say double views, realistic expectations, I'm not talking about 20,000 views. I'm saying maybe 200 to 300. Whereas before, without thumbnails, without proper titling,
Hmm.
without a good topic, it was 5 to 10 views.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real as working class content creators. You
Yes.
can do it. You can do it the way that you were doing it in the beginning, or you can put some structure to it. Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
No, no, that's exactly right. And I'll say this: if Canva is all you have, use Canva.
Hmm.
Don't worry about trying to get the most expensive software, because I think we can overthink a lot of things, thinking that, and especially if, like you stated, Canva it has plenty of templates, but it is a
Hmm.
great starting point. Or even if it's all you're using, it's something that can keep you consistent going even today. So sure, you can branch out and use other things, but if it's working for you, why change
Hmm.
it?
Hmm.
Why change it? And I think a lot of times we can get into YouTube and start overthinking, especially if we start to compare ourselves to others and think that, well, maybe this is not good enough. And you just have to do some tweaking, do some tests. Like you stated, your channel is not looking the same as what it used to look. To me, it looks
Hmm.
great. I can see that, you're using a lot of red and black, so that goes along with your platform. So if it's working, why stop using it? If it works for you, by all
Hmm.
means use it. But I think a lot of times we can overthink things and get caught up into trying to have the perfect thumbnail and
Mm.
all of that, which is it's okay to do that, but I don't think we should go down that rabbit hole of trying to make everything so perfect, when there's a lot more to it than just the thumbnail, like we stated, the title, and then even the video itself, right? The content that you put into it, or whatever the subject matter or the niche that you have. So there's a lot more to it. I think I had in one of our creator talks that we had on my channel, where I had
Mhm.
some other my friend creators on. They talked about this, where there's a guy that I don't think he has a very great thumbnail, but he just puts these videos out talking about finances, and he don't have a super great
Mm.
thumbnail, but he just puts it out there, and because of that topic resonates with so many
Right,
people,
right.
it goes viral, right? Or it blows up. So the thumbnail, yes, it goes along with it, but it just depends on the niche, and there's other factors to it. So I would say to people, yeah, don't get so caught up into the thumbnail. If Canva works for you, by all means, keep using it.
We're talking about 7 important skills that you as a content creator need to invest the time in developing so that you can grow your channel and double your views over time. One particular piece that I left out on the video package, but you touched on, was timing. Like you said,
Mm,
whereas here, this content creator who's focusing on financing and learning how to better manage finances, how maybe to invest your finances, and how to save your finances. Well, that's a very important topic for a lot of Americans in today's time. And the timing of it, when you see where soup kitchens and food lines are so packed to the point where you have regular families who both have incomes, but they have to go to a food pantry.
Mm.
And so when you hear the discussion of finances, but not a good topic, not a good thumbnail, but you have a good title and topic and timing, all plays a part in the finance. It all plays a part in the packaging of it. So I'm glad you hit that. The second skill, content planning. One of the pain points that I was sharing with Brian before we went live, in terms of as content creators, we all work for the most part a 9-to-5 job. We have a career. Most of us are married with a spouse, family, children, personal responsibilities. If you're involved in your church or volunteering, you have all these other commitments, but yet when you do the time to put in your videos or go live on your live streams, by the time you've completed everything, you're exhausted. Yep. You feel like you don't have the consistency to be able to go live and upload. And you feel like you can't get everything edited fast enough because you got this 9-to-5 job because you need it, but yet you want to be on YouTube. How has content planning helped you with those types of challenges?
Yeah. And I want to say this, Walter, that I want to commend you for hitting this topic tonight, but not only that, but for trying to reach those that are working 9-to-5s, because this timing and consistency is probably one of the biggest challenges that we face, because like you stated, we got families. Some of us are in church. We have outside things we're connected to, work, kids, marriage, all of these things. And I've heard you talk about it on a video where you need to make some content to help grow your channel, but oh no, I got to go to my kid's school tonight. So these things happen. But I'll say this for those out there, because this is something that I did not do. I hit brick walls plenty of times with YouTube. And when it comes to consistency, and that's still something that I'm working on, but I would say do what you can do when it comes to timing and putting content out. You may have someone that is able to put out a video a week and go live. A lot of times you may not be able to compare yourself to that type of content creator because you have different responsibilities. So if for you only putting out a video every other week it works and you can be consistent with it, by all means do that. If you can only do one video a month, and I'm just saying, if that's all you can do, by all means do that. What you don't want to do is overwork yourself, where now you're feeling overwhelmed because I can't put it out there. I told everybody I was going to go live every week, but if that's something you can't do, don't put that burden on yourself. So I know I'm saying this because I know this was something that I felt I was doing, because I felt like, okay, yeah, I'm going to try to do, every week, go do this every week. But when responsibilities came up, I found out I'm not able to do that. So do what you can do, and don't compare yourself to what others are doing out there, but just do whatever it is that you can do. Like I said, if it's one video a week, by all means do that. But there's other ways you can create content. And I think that's where you got to merge, or I'll say have a blend of various content. Maybe you can only go live once a month, but hey, maybe you can do a short, which doesn't take as much time. So, or you could do just the graphic post where you just maybe got a photo, or maybe you went to an event and you just share this. So you got to look for other ways to come up with that content, and just have, like Walter stated, have this whole package where maybe I'm going live once a month, and then I share this, I also share this, and I do this. So, but I would say just do whatever you can do. Don't try to put too much burden on yourself, especially with us that's working these 9-to-5s. We got a lot of responsibilities. So you don't want to get too overwhelmed, and then you get burnt out, and then you feel like, YouTube is, man, I can't do this. So that's not where we want to put you. So we want to get you in a place to where, hey, you know what? I'm able to sustain at this level. I put out content, every other week. If that's
Mhm.
what it is, by all means, do that. But don't overwork yourself. Don't do it
De-
because there's so much other things you got.
Definitely. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion tonight on 7 important skills that you need to have as a content creator skills that's going to help you to be a better content creator on YouTube, do me a favor, click that like button for me. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't got a chance to. Share this discussion tonight on your favorite social media platform. And of the 3 skills that we've talked about, from video packaging to we've talked about in terms of content planning, what has been a skill that you've had to work on? Let us know in the chat so we can add it a part of the discussion. The next skill we want to touch on, Brian, is video presentation. You talked about in
Mm.
terms of you are a person who enjoyed being behind the scenes,
Yeah.
doing the editing, and now you are in front of the camera.
Up front.
Tell us your origin story of how you were able to get comfortable and being on camera so that way you could be able to connect with the audience you wanted to reach with.
Right. Yeah. Great question. And I know this is something that a lot of creators deal with, wanting to, I don't know, just maybe, from where you come from, you're just maybe that type of person where you're more reserved and you don't really want to put yourself out there. That was kind of me, where I didn't
Mhm.
really want to put myself out there. And I just kind of wanted to just be behind the scenes. But the more content that you start to create, the more you find out, especially when it comes to content. Now, everything doesn't have to be video, but video is what really gets, you could say, really gets the algorithm just going.
Mhm.
Video. So for me, getting comfortable on camera came just, I would honestly say, I think doing live streams helped me to start to get comfortable on camera, like
Okay.
doing live streams, because there was a time where I was still doing pre-recorded interviews, but I just said, you know what? Because you hear this say, hey, you need to have live streams as a part of your content creation. And so I said, you know what? I'm gonna just start doing more lives. And I started to just do live interviews. And I was doing them like I think I was doing like every Saturday, where I was like interviewing guests, kind of like what we talked about before
Mm.
we came on, where I was just having some of my content creative friends come on and I'll interview them maybe about their business or what they're doing. And I started to do that just live. And so what I
Okay.
found out was going live really challenges you, because a lot of times whatever happens in the live stream, you just got to roll with it, right?
Gotta
If
roll
some
with it.
if something falls behind the wall, hey, you just got to roll with it. Sometimes you can be muted and you sitting there talking and you're talking for 10 minutes, and then people in the chat going off saying, "Hey, you're muted." So it happens on live stream, but it does test you, but not only does it test you, but it's preparing you too.
Mm.
So I would say, if someone is uncomfortable on camera, try try live stream. Another thing you can do, which is something I just created maybe I don't know, over a month ago, but I created just a simple ebook that helps people to get comfortable on camera. And what I found that has also helped me just here recently was going through reps of practicing, because a lot of times when you hit the record button, it's kind of like you're saying, okay, what am I gonna say? What am I gonna say? But I found that doing little short reps, like preparing to say something for just 15 seconds,
Mhm.
right? Taking 15 seconds to record yourself. And a lot of times you don't even have to post or share this, you don't have to go live, but just doing reps where
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
practicing, what am I gonna say? And like I said, I created this ebook, and it gives you like these little short prompts that are just maybe 10, 15 seconds, but it's 30 days where you're just practicing this. So I think that has been very helpful for me too. And it helped me to just become even more comfortable, because now it's like, because the more you do it, the more you get comfortable with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Another challenge that people have, and this is what I ran into, was that when I first started recording myself, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
like my voice. I didn't like how I sound. Who doesn't? Like when you hear your
Who
voice the first time,
doesn't?
it's like, oh, is that how I sound? And you're just like, cringe. But think about it. Think about some of the great voices. You got James Earl Jones.
Mm.
You got what's this? I can't think of his name, but he has a great voice. But you got a lot of great voices. I think about James Earl Jones. When he heard his voice, he probably said, "Oh, I don't like my voice." But when you hear this man's voice, his voice is amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we're uncomfortable being on camera because we probably haven't recorded ourselves enough to hear our voice. So that's why I'm saying you got to put in the reps to get over that. Oh, I don't like how I sound, because you gotta just put in those reps. Even looking at yourself, right? All of us, none of us
Right.
are perfect looking.
Right.
None of us
Right.
have the perfect voice. So those are
Mm-hmm.
things you just gotta throw out the window and stop overthinking about. But that's probably the reason a lot of us get uncomfortable cameras, because we don't like how we sound. But when somebody else hears us, it's perfectly fine, because you're able to talk on the phone and
Right.
nobody
Right.
says, "Hey, man, your voice sounds," you comfortable. So those are just little things that I've learned along the way to just kind of get over, and it's helped me to overcome, my shyness or fear of being on camera, like I said. But live streams really helped me because it tested me, and it helped me to just put myself out there and just roll with it, and just go with it. Of course, there's still some preparedness that you need to do, even if you're doing a live stream, but you can practice these things before you even post it. So I would
Exactly.
suggest to people, if you're not comfortable being on camera, just start recording yourself. you know Start recording yourself, and just practice maybe saying something for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. You don't have to post it, you don't have to share it, but just start getting in those reps. And the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll become being on camera. And before you know it, we'll see you out here in the internet streets, as we say, doing live streams.
Doing live stream. You know, what came to mind when since you were on the topic of live stream, when you want to build the skill of being comfortable of being on camera through video presentation, what came to mind is not running away from the live stream nightmares.
Yeah.
I'll say that again for those of you who are watching this live in the chat and watching the replay. Not running away from the live stream nightmares. What do I mean by that? You're in your battleship live stream studio, which is basically the corner of your room. Let's be real. We're working class content creators. We ain't there yet with a big full production studio. Not yet. We can prophesy for you. We can speak it for you, but let's keep you in your room with you in the corner with your sheet over it so that your wife and daughter don't disturb you. But then you have your lighting set up, and then uh, Barney runs through the room barking, and he causes the lights to fall over while you're live. Live stream nightmare.
Yeah.
Another live stream
It
nightmare.
happens.
It happens. Another live stream nightmare. You forget to make sure that the laptop is plugged up and you're running on battery and you're midstream with a guest and the computer dies because there's no battery and you're gone.
Yeah. It
Live
happens.
stream nightmare.
It happens.
These things happen, and when you embrace and learn how to respond and be able to deal with live stream nightmares or
Yes,
creator
sir.
nightmares, that's what's going to help your video presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, we all had them. Let me know in the chat what type of live stream nightmare that you had to overcome, whether it's doing pre-record videos or live streams or a podcast. We've put them in the chat for me. What's your live stream nightmare that's had to help develop your video presentation?
Yeah, Walter. Can I add to that? So I would say, just like you stated, live stream nightmares, they happen. All of us are human. So guess what? We're gonna make mistakes. We're not gonna get it right every time. We're not gonna be perfect. That adds to your genuine uniqueness, and that's part of the authenticity package that you present. But just last week, Monday night, when I did the live stream with the guest, the actor from the Forge, their internet went out. I'm live with them on. I'm live. We're live. Their internet went out, and his video freezes, and before you know it, they're off. right?
Mm.
They're off the, and we're live.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so, to handle it, I'm just like, oh no, what happened? And I'm there. I was like, well, I don't know what happened, guys. I'm talking to the audience, just saying, hey, I don't know what happened, but we're gonna see what happened. But one of the things that I did, I created a scene.
Okay.
I created a scene for my live stream just in case something happens. I got to use the restroom or something like that happens. I created a scene that just says "Be right back."
Mhm,
Right. And
mhm.
so I put this scene up and people will see the "Be right back" so that can kind of alleviate or give me time to process. But what had happened was they had storms in the area and
Okay.
their internet got knocked out. But things happen when you're live. And we were communicating. They just said that, hey, we'll be right back on. But I'm just like you state, these things happen on your live stream, but it helps prepare you and it tests you. So you can kind of prepare for those type of things in case something like that happens. But live stream nightmares are real. They're a real thing.
They're a real thing. You muting yourself more than once, more than twice, going live when the video is unlisted, and you're wondering why no one is in the stream. Everyone is promised to be there, and you are on fire. You are running through your runner show, and you don't see no one in the chat. And then when you finish and hit the in the broadcast, you realize you're unlisted.
Oh my.
You didn't publish it. It's all part of developing the skill of being comfortable on
Yes, sir.
camera.
Yes, sir.
On camera. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion tonight on these 7 skills to help you to become a better content creator who works a 9 to 5 job, who has a family, to double your views in time, click that like button for me, hit that thumbs up, hit that share button, because you know someone that you've talked to in the last week that's had this same conversation. Share this live stream with them tonight. And if you are new to the huddle, we encourage you to subscribe to the channel, click the alert notification button, and so you can be a part of the conversation here on the huddle and growing as a working class content creator. Our next skill, storytelling. How has
Mm.
storytelling, especially again, I share with you, Brian, in coming back to the huddle, I just got back into doing pre-recorded videos. I would say the most favorite part of the process for me is the editing. I remember when I first started to learn how to do B-roll,
Mm.
putting B-roll to videos. Now, I'm not talking about high production cinematic type editing, but the basics, ABCs of editing. And what I found out was it was helping me to tell a story through the editing and through the content. How has storytelling helped you as a skill, rather editing, going live, or through pre-recorded, helped you to grow as a content creator?
Yeah. Another great skill set, storytelling. And I would say yes, it's something that I'm still learning, still growing with, and
Mhm,
still working through because storytelling, as I'm finding out, it is something that really resonates with people. And believe it or not, a lot of people really want to hear your story. But if you
mhm,
don't share that, they won't
mhm,
know. I think I heard you talking about your story. I think maybe it was on Tech Troublemaker when you were kind of giving a portion of your story where you had kind of got away from YouTube and you came back, right? And you were sharing your story.
mhm,
Well, of course, I had never heard your story, but for me, I can relate to that. I can relate
mhm,
to it because there's a lot of us that we go into maybe YouTube and we face these challenges, 9 to 5s, and you name it. But
mhm,
it can get overwhelming and we don't know what to do. We don't know how to process it. So for some of us, we jump away or we pull out of YouTube and it's just a part of our story. So whether we realize or not, there are some people that may want to hear your story because it's going to resonate with them, where maybe you quit. For myself, before I started this platform, I was starting a podcast. I was starting a it was going to be different, but I was
mhm,
starting a podcast. I had started recording some of the episodes. It was going to be audio at the time. I had started recording some of the episodes, but then I started listening to how I sounded, and it just it just set, it didn't set well with me, and I was just like, who's gonna listen to me?
Mm,
Why are they gonna listen to my subject? You know, why are they gonna listen to me talk about this? I'm not a, and you know, you just start to talk yourself out of these things. And I scrapped it. And after scrapping it, of course, it took me probably over 6 years to 6 or 7 years to kind of bounce back and start it up again.
mhm,
But this is how things can kind of go off for you. But as far as with storytelling, some people want to hear your story. Some people like that, and especially with AI, people want to hear that. So don't be afraid to share your story, some of your failures, some of those things where it sets you back, some of the things that worry you, some of the things that challenge you. Because like Walter has this challenge, there's so many things that happen for us in the 9 to 5, so many challenges we're faced with. But guess what? Some people want to hear that. So those are things you can present as a content creator,
mhm.
where I was faced with this challenge, and this is how I was able to overcome it and do this. So as far as like what you state, Walter. So
Mhm.
I too add kind of sometimes B rolls maybe in my video, where you know it helps to build the presentation, where you know you can add these type of things. And speaking of b-rolls, Canva has plenty of b-rolls. So for those
Yes.
that don't know, you
Mhm.
can use Canva for b-rolls. They got all of those things. But those are just different ways you can tell your story, of course.
Okay.
And you know, and present your package, right? Present it. So there's different ways to tell your story. And so you know, for me, it just depends on the content. I think for myself, just sharing some of the maybe some of those more personal stories, I think it can help resonate with people. So, you know, you just never know what people will say. But you got to get to sharing those things, because right now people want to connect with people they can relate to. You know, there's enough artificial out there with AI and all these type of
Mhm.
things. So you just never know. Sharing some of those failures, and some of those, no, not just successes, but some of those things that really challenge you as a creator. Those things can resonate with people. You just never know. That could be a video where it just gets you hundreds, maybe even thousands of views, because somebody
Mhm.
said, "Oh man, I didn't know that." I'm dealing with that too. So don't be afraid to add those stories.
Definitely. Definitely. We're talking about 7 important skills you need to have as a content creator. And are we saying tonight you got to be able to be a master at all of these? No, we're saying tonight you need to identify the skills, the video packaging, the presentation, which brings me now to, in terms of the next skill, engaging the audience. Now, for live streamers, we know that this is part of the experience of engaging your audience in the live chat, and pulling up comments, whether if you're pulling up the comments or bringing a person on from the audience. That's all part of the experience. But I want to take this a little deeper,
Mm,
especially where we may be at this moment as content creators. You're saying, I'm not getting a lot of comments in my comment section.
mm,
What I'm finding out, Brian, there's a right way to engage people in the comment section. There's a wrong way. Person says, "Hey, such and such, I really enjoyed your video, and it really spoke to me." And you put in the comment section, "Thank you." That's it. You didn't do any type of engagement to say, I'm glad you enjoyed the video. Was there something in particular, the 3 points that I talked about in the video, that really stood out for you?"
yeah.
That type of engagement where you now start in a discussion with the person in the comment section. I had someone who watched one of the live streams just a couple of days ago, and he said, "I only caught the first half of it." And he said, "I'm in my late 50s. I just started my YouTube channel, but you really gave me some encouragement on how to really get started." And then I said to him, I said, "Well, I'm glad you really enjoyed the content. I appreciate you just going far as sharing your age demographic with me. And at any time, if you are interested in coming on the huddle so that we can help you in real time, the invitation is there."
Yeah.
The engagement helps the discussion goes further, and you don't know if others may be involved. What's been your experience in terms of knowing how to engage your audience, not just in the live chat, but even in the comment section?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You want to, make sure that you don't just give a person a thank you, which is not is I want to say that's not super bad, but you want to go like you say, Walter. You want to go a step further with your engagement because you got to think about it. This person actually took the time to
Mhm.
watch your video.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how much time they watched, but they took the time to not only watch your video, but as we state, hey, if you're here and you like the video, leave a like and comment. And so they took the time to not only watch, but they commented. So you should do as much as you can to encourage that person, engage with that person. First of all, thanking them, not only
Mhm.
thanking them, but like Walter states, maybe taking it a step further to see how you can help them or asking them questions like, hey, what really resonated with you? Or of all of my 4 or 5 tips that I left, which one did you like the most? And just to try to get more engagement out of them. But not only that, you just want to also show people that you care most of all, because some people, they comment on people's channel. Some people may not even think I'll even get a response back. So at the end of the day, it does show people that you care for them, and not only that, but you appreciate them showing up. So that's one of the easiest things you can do to engage
Mhm.
with a person. If somebody takes the time to comment, as much as you can, do whatever you can to respond and let them know that you value that comment and just that you appreciate them being there. And you can take it a step further, like Walter says, ask questions. Even with live streams, I think live streams is a great way to engage with people. A lot of people love to hear or see their comments get shown on the screen if you're able to do that. And not only that, but that you call their names out. Hey, Tech Troublemaker, I appreciate you being here tonight, and just
Mhm.
others. They love that, and not only that, that brings them back for the next live stream when they
Mhm.
come because they'll say, "Oh yeah, I like the fact that we can come on Walter's live stream." And he engages with us. He lets us ask questions, and he shared my
Mhm.
question on the live stream, and others were able to help answer my question. I was dealing with this problem and Walter talked about it in the live stream, and I had like 6 people to respond, and they gave me answers or solutions that can help me with my live stream channel. So those are definitely opportunities to engage with your community. So it not only engages with your community, shows that you're human and you care for them, but also this can help build your community because you want people to come back to your platform. So it's
Mhm.
a win-win. It's a win-win for you and not only that, your community. So do whatever you can to engage with those that are, coming to your platform.
Right. And that's what's going to help them stay on the platform. Not
Hmm.
just watch one video, but then if you have a playlist or a series
Yeah.
of videos or live streams that you've been doing a series on, and now have them where they are engaged in the conversation with you, where you can refer them to hey, I'm glad you were able to enjoy um, the latest live stream that I had with Brian. Tech has had me on his show. He's had you on the show. I think
Oh yeah.
recently he had Florence Donald on the show. Um, Being able to say, I'm glad you enjoyed the interview that I had with Brian. If your schedule permits, if you're driving in the car, just put the latest 2 live streams I had with Brian Hill or Florence Donald on, and that engagement with them, they're willing to invest that time because you are investing in them, and then introducing them. I still refer at Brian as the community tab, but I understand YouTube calls it the post tab.
Right.
But even engaging there
Yes.
as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think I saw you just comment like on the post. I saw you posted our discussion tonight. And I don't remember the gentleman's name, but I think someone posted or commented, and I saw you engage with him where you said, hey, if you're able to join the lives, which is awesome. But
Hmm.
that's just one of the things that you learn.
Hmm. Hmm. Definitely. So, which takes us now to our sixth skill: collaboration.
Mm.
Collaborate. It's. I know YouTube has the feature of the collaborations out now, but I'm I'm gonna do my best Roberto Blank impression. Back in the day, back in my day, back in my day. Sounding like a grandpa here, where you would see YouTubers collaborate one another. I would say, especially during COVID, when we couldn't go to work, when we couldn't go to school, and we couldn't go fellowship at church and be with friends and things, and YouTubers were collaborating with one another doing live. You would see people on live streams together. And
Mhm.
what it taught me, though, however, is there's a right way to want to collaborate with someone. There's a wrong way. Share our audience, maybe your experience in terms of collaboration, and maybe one way someone did it the wrong way of reaching out to you to collaborate.
Mm, so I would say, I'm trying to think of a wrong way. Well, let's see, a wrong way to collaborate. Now, I haven't had this, but I would say a wrong way to collaborate with someone is to maybe try to use their platform for selfish means, right? Where you just want to get on this
Good
person's
point.
platform and you're not really trying to offer any value, but you're just trying to get on there to do just selling points, right? For all of maybe your products, your services, those type of things.
Okay.
I would say that's a wrong way. I haven't experienced that myself personally, but I think that's a wrong way to collaborate, to reach out to people, seeing that, oh, they got all these followers, so I'm going to reach out. But I think collaboration should be a mutual like agreement
Hmm.
and a mutual thing where it's, for me, collaboration just like this tonight. This is a win-win for me and Walter. This is a win-win because I get to be introduced to his audience, which I've never been on. And of
Hmm.
course, for myself, I get to share this information that, hey, look, I was on Walter's platform. So I get to share him with my audience. So this is a mutual win-win for us, which is a great collaboration. And I'll add to this too, collaborations for those, I'm just going to add this little tidbit for those that may be afraid to be on camera by
Hmm.
yourself. Collaborations is a great way to overcome your fear of being on camera because you get to get a partner on there and y'all can just have this live discussion like me
Hmm.
and Walter is having tonight. And that's a way to help you to overcome fear of being on camera. So collaborations for me is a win-win because you can talk about a topic that people are dealing with. Just like tonight, we're dealing with these 7 skills that can help you get views on tonight. So I think this resonates with a lot of us. Like we talked, Walter, I don't know, 85% of the YouTubers out there are working 9 to 5. So
Hmm.
this is a great collaboration for us to have this discussion, to talk about just real things we're dealing with. Not only that, but skills that can help us. And like Walter is encouraging those to, hey, share those things in the comments. So
Hmm.
it's a win-win. So collaboration is a bonus for me. I love it. It's a bonus, and all of that, it helps both or whoever you're collaborating. It's a win-win. That's what I look at collaboration as, and it is definitely helpful, and it should be a part of your content creation. Who can I collab with this month
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
talk about some things? So I think you should add that because it's a win-win, especially gives you a boost of encouragement as well. So add that.
Definitely. And flipping the coin into the right way of collaboration, what I've learned in terms of building an online relationship, where I realize I'm in Long Island, New York, Brian, you're in another part of the country, but being able to build an online relationship where I'm connecting with you on other social media platforms, whether if it's your Facebook page, 24-hour boss, connecting with you on Instagram, building that connection. If you have a website, and being able to connect with you on your website, building that online presence and connection with one another, I believe, is key to a great collaboration. If the person's on LinkedIn, and I believe, rather, if you're trying to collaborate with someone that's within the subscriber count or range that you're in, if you're at 1,000 subscribers and you want to collaborate with someone 500 to 2,500 subscribers, if you if you're doing those different things, and if you're showing up making comments on their comments of their videos, you're showing up in their live streams participating, you're showing up and you're commenting on their LinkedIn post, on their newsletter, those different things, that shows a genuine interest that you're just not out for self, but their content has connected with you, and you see the value of collaborating with them because you feel like you can be able to offer something to them and their audience. Then if you want to take it a step further and you say, well, I want to collaborate with the Nick Nimmons, I want to collaborate with the Brian G. Johnsons, I want to collaborate with the Sean Cannell. Yes, we all understand that they have big subscriber counts, they have millions of views, but they're not opposed to collaborating with someone like me and you. It's about how we go about doing it. And that's how I was fortunate enough to collaborate with Benji Travis, the co-author of YouTube Secrets, and who has, two platforms, Benji Man TV and Video Influencers, that have silver play buttons. And he saw me consistently commenting on his LinkedIn page, sending him comments, telling him, man, I really enjoy. And he wasn't really talking about YouTube stuff. He was just talking regular general things. And then when he responded back to me and said, I saw your latest episode that you did with such and such person, it was powerful. I was like, oh, he just opened the door. He just opened the door. But then imposter syndrome kicked in and said,
yes,
wait a minute.
That's a whole topic in itself, imposter syndrome.
Wait a minute. Who do you think you are? You're going to ask him to be a guest on your show? I said, you know what? I'm going to try it. But I didn't do it right there. I went back, I wrote something up, put the similar to the Word doc you recently got. I put it right in his LinkedIn message thing. And he said, here's my email. Email my team. We'll set up a discovery call with you. And the rest is history. But it all started with genuine connection and connecting with him on different social media platforms and being in the live chat or commenting on his videos. So whether if it's a large subscriber channel that you want to collaborate with, or someone similar in your a niche that you're in and you have the same similar subscriber count, it's got to be a two-way street of collaborating. It's got to be a two-way street. And now with the feature of YouTube collaborations, that we can then do live streams, and once this is over, I can send Brian the link and he can put it on his channel. That just is an added value.
Yes.
Your thoughts, Brian?
No, that's absolutely correct. Collaboration it's a win-win. I mean, it's a win-win. You don't lose collaborating. Of course, going into it with the same intent of just having that conversation and to talk about whatever topic that is, but it is definitely a gem. And like I stated, I think everyone should have it as a part of their content creation, because it can definitely help not only you, but those who you are collaborating with. So it's a win-win.
Definitely. Hey, if you're getting great value out of this discussion tonight on 7 creator skills that you need to be working on and developing a part of your YouTube content creation journey, click that like button for me, hit that thumbs up, share this on your favorite social media platform. Let us know in the chat, even if these skills that we've mentioned, these last 6, if there's some other skills that you've had to work on, such as time management. We all need to work on our time management, networking, because too many of us as content creators are isolating ourselves from great support groups, but because of personal or mental health issues, we don't trust well. Let us know in the chat there, which brings us to skill number 7, being able to, I'm going to throw you a curveball, Brian. I know I had YouTube analytics on there. Okay. How to leverage AI technology to buy back your time as a person who works, family, and other commitments. How have you been with this whole AI rollout, being able to leverage it to buy back your time?
Yeah. So great question. I would say to anyone, of course, who is not using AI, you're really, you're cheating yourself, and you may get left behind, but AI definitely is it can be a great benefit to help you to, I mean, in so many different aspects of your content creation. Even with trying to come up, maybe even coming up with a topic, right? Maybe you're just having a moment where things aren't, your mind is, you're trying to come up with a good topic. So you could put your whole YouTube channel, put the YouTube channel in AI, Chat GPT, whatever you use, and just ask it to, hey, come up with me 5 topics I can talk about on my next live stream, and it'll spit it out for you. So I use AI sometimes to help me to come up with maybe some ideas. Maybe I'm trying to do a video and I'm just trying to maybe do some simple talking points, three. Maybe I want to come up with 3 talking points. And you don't have to go seriously in depth with it, but you can just keep it mellow, right? Keep it simple. But you can use AI to help you with many different things, even creating thumbnails. Tech Troublemaker, he showed me some great tips on
Mhm.
creating thumbnails using, Chat GPT. So you can use it to help you with thumbnails. You can use it for coming up with content ideas, even hooks for videos. You can
Mhm.
Tech Troublemakers help me with that as well. You can come up with great hooks, because maybe I think for a lot of us, like, that is something that I've just started to kind of learn more and more, coming up with a hook, because that's definitely important for your videos. So you can use it for many different things. So I would say just trying to make sure you embrace AI to help you. It could be like it could be like a assistant for you. It can be
Okay.
just like an assistant for you. There's even ways to use it. I haven't tapped into this yet, but there's ways to use it to help you with your calendar, with your schedule.
Mhm.
There are different platforms that you can use, even Instagram and Facebook. You can use these to post content, right? To schedule out content. And so these are ways it can help you reduce your time. And I think that is something that I've recently learned, not just coming up with like maybe one video, but where you try to do it in batches, where, what, I got 2 hours of time. I'm going
Mhm.
to write out my 5 videos, or I'm going to record my 5 videos, and then maybe I'll edit them later. So AI can definitely help you with these things, putting videos together. What all I need to have in this video. So I would say use it to your benefit, because it can be an assistant for whatever it is that you're trying to do. And for most of us, we are one man shows, so we need all the help we can get. So AI can definitely be that assistant for you. So we have to use this to our advantage to help us curb or carve some time into our day, because we only got 24 hours. So
That's right.
we
That's
got
right.
to we got to use that to our advantage.
Right. And if you're leveraging AI technology, AI tools the right way, and again, it's a skill. It's a skill that I'm learning. If you feel chat, start. I'm not ashamed. I'm still on the free version, Brian.
Oh yeah.
I'm on the free version. I'll
Yeah,
take it a
yeah, I'm on
step
the free
further.
version. Now I will say that
Go
my
ahead.
my wife is using the paid version, so I sometimes have to jump on to her paid version. But no, I'm using the free version too.
Right, right, right. And then YouTube just rolled out their set of AI features with AI Ask YouTube Studio,
Yep.
where you can go into your analytics, which will tie YouTube analytics to this, and you can be able to ask it certain questions about the feedback that you're getting from your audience in the comment section. And we talked about earlier about audience engagement and how to engage and what types of comments that viewers are leaving on your videos, and how you can pull content topic and ideas from that. You can be able to look at in terms of your top 10 videos, that what they've been how they've been performing, um, or the lack of performance. You can ask YouTube Studios to kind of, again, work along with you as an assistant, so that way you can be able to use your time wisely in planning out your content, and planning out and working on things like your video packaging, your titles, and your thumbnails. So whether if it's Chat GPT, YouTube Ask Studio, Claude, Gemini, 1 to 10, which is something that's really starting to pique my interest. So I'm looking at that as well. But at the end of the day, if you got to start at the free version, hey, no, there's no shame in starting free.
Nope,
But there's no shame with that. But
not
as
at all.
long as it's helping you to grow your channel, double your views, and then when you get monetized, when you hit certain thresholds like a 500 subscribers and 3,000 hours of watch time, or 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, when you start bringing money in from affiliate marketing and physical digital products like Brian talked about, ebooks and downloadable PDFs, or if you want to get into digital courses, when revenue starts to come in from that, then you start dealing with 1 to 10 or vidIQ.
Yes, sir.
There he is. Brian, you shared a lot of great jewels tonight with our audience, especially those here in the live chat and especially for the replay. How can our viewers get in contact with you? Where do all roads lead to Brian Hill at 24 Hour Boss? What's the best place to connect with you?
Yeah, so I'm pretty much on most of, I guess, the most of the main platforms. YouTube, of course, Instagram and Facebook, and you can find me at 24 Hour Boss, 24HRBOSS. On any of those platforms, I do have a website as well, 24hourboss.com, which I got to revamp. So if you go there, you'll see that it looks like it's not been updated. So that's part of the time that I'm trying to carve in my day to get things going with that. But no, yeah, you can find me on any of those platforms. I do appreciate any support out there at all. Totally, I want to say thank you, Walter, to you for allowing me to be on your platform tonight. Definitely have enjoyed this conversation, much needed, of course, and still learning, still growing. So thank you.
Great. Any final thoughts to our audience on all the skills that we touched on? What parting jewel of wisdom would you share with our audience here?
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll say in terms of AI, I like Tech Troublemaker's comment where he says, "Let AI help you, but don't let it be you." So I would
Oh,
say to
say
that,
that again.
yeah, I would say to that, yeah, don't try to let AI replace you. You need to show up as yourself, be authentic, and just be yourself, and embrace your imperfections. None of us are perfect. We're gonna make mistakes. We're not gonna get it right. Some of your first videos that you put out there, they're probably gonna be cringe. That's okay. All of us have put videos out there where we cringe when we think about them, but give yourself some grace and allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to make mistakes. It's okay too, and I've said this before, it's okay to take a break from YouTube and a break from content creating, just to clear your mind and to maybe regroup or to start over fresh, because what you don't want is to get overwhelmed looking at analytics and views, or thinking about why my subscribers aren't growing like they need to. It could be a lot of different things, but I would say don't overthink things. Don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed. Give yourself some grace, allow yourself time to regroup. It's okay to pull away from YouTube, but guess what, it's going to be here, the channel's going to be there, the people will be there. But give yourself some grace to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes and grow, and do all you can to help somebody else, show up on somebody else's live stream or platform to help support them, and you'll see in return that others will show up to yours as well. And collaboration is golden. I'll say that last. Collaboration is golden. Networking helps you learn from others and get ideas from others, and you get shared with others as well as you can share others as well. So also embrace that. But Walter, again, I want to say thank you, sir, for having me on. This has been a great conversation that I've enjoyed and that I've learned things from. So I appreciate you allowing me to be here on tonight.
Thank you. I'm just going to put you in the green room just for a few seconds, have some parting remarks, then I'll bring you right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mr. Brian Hill from 24 Hour Boss. He shared some great jewels with us. So those of you who are still live in the chat, whatever that skill is, let me know. Hashtag video packaging, hashtag collaboration, hashtag video presentation, hashtag leveraging AI technology, AI tools, whatever it is, that skill, put it in the live chat. Or if you're watching the replay, let us know that skill that you need to continue to develop and work on as a content creator. If you are in the live chat, the huddle is back in terms of bringing guests back on. So I seen Monty Weaver in the chat tonight. I seen John Lacey in the chat tonight. This is a public, personal invitation to be a guest on the huddle. So you expect some chat messages from me on LinkedIn, Monty and John Lacey and Tech Troublemakers. So this is my personal invitation to those of you. If you say you're struggling with having confidence on camera and you need some help, well, the huddle's here to help you to get through those live stream nightmares that we talked about and being comfortable on camera. So hit me up either on Instagram, the huddle with Walter Strong III, or you can hit me here on the huddle YouTube channel. You can find me on LinkedIn, connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm like Brian, I'm working on my website too as well, but we want to connect with you and get you on the huddle. We need to have our audience hear about your YouTube channel. So if you've been looking for a place to collaborate, the huddle is the place. And so that's our final remarks. Thank each and every one of you for being here live in the chat, especially Team Replay. We will see you Sunday night at 8 p.m. here on the huddle. God bless.